ones. They carry that seed of knowledge, great wisdom seekers. And then the opposite of Sag is the Gemini energy. And the Gemini energy, of course, is here for hardcore knowledge. They should be reading everything. The cereal box, the label on the vitamin jar. They like knowledge, and they are adept at changing fields and learning more. And so you can see. But all of those 4 signs, I would be looking to mind my P's and Q's that day. Because what's happening also, same day, the good old planet Mars joins up and it connects itself with something that's very unpredictable, and it's called Uranus. So, and a lot of this is going to be happening in Aries. So there's a chance that literally the topic would be you blow your top. So no top blowing this weekend. It's cautionary time. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that? The number is 321-806-3159. Okay, I'm now going to... Oh, is there anything else I should tell you about astrological stuff before I move off that? Because sometimes the week happens and like, what happened there? Who's on first and what happened? There's still a whole lot of healing going on for the Piscean energy because it's coming through Pisces, and it's it's called the wounded healer, the wounded warrior, Chiron. So it's actually the time, and it's appropriate all year. Well, it was even appropriate last year. Well, it's been appropriate now for several years. So it's really, really appropriate to allow your psychological suffering to drop. Don't keep carrying it. Just drop it. And that's what we want. We want to drop it. Okay? So Chiron it's allowing you to go to a more contemplative spot. Last night I was with someone who was repeating again the story of the possibility that someone had molested her 50 years ago. It's time to drop the story. You can't validate it. No one's still alive that could even validate it, and it doesn't matter. Drop it. You see, in my world, it's just a story, and you could become defensive and say, yes, but I'm this way and that way because of the story, and I gained weight, or I murdered the neighbor, or I did something else because of the story. It's all a dream. We just like some parts of the dream better than other parts. So all of your woundedness, whatever you think did what to you, this Chiron energy is really, really, it's particularly potent, once again, for the 4 signs that I've just mentioned. You Sagittarians, for heaven's sake, drop it all. Because anything that happened yesterday is a dream. Anything that happened last year ago, it's a dream. Your mother threw you out of the 2nd-story window when you were 2. Let it go. So Sag, you really get in on this. And the reason being, the Chiron energy is actually in Pisces, and it squares whatever I'm talking to you about for the most part. So it's going to square Sagittarius. It's going to square Gemini. And it's going to actually be opposite Virgo. So no more thinking about it. No more processing it. I think we're about processed to death. You know, we talk about, heaven forbid you'd eat a normal piece of white bread now because it's processed. Well, it's the same thing. Don't drink the Kool-Aid of trying to process your life. It is what it is, and the great presence was in it as it was, and it's the experience your spirit wanted to have. So, okay then, stay in the present. Okay, and so that would be the Chiron energy. We do. March. We're not in March yet, but yeah, interesting. In March, early March, we actually have Venus going retrograde in Aries. Well, that ought to be interesting for some relationships. Yeah, I think people are going to do a lot of relationship looking in the month of March from an astrological point of view, as well as from the point of view of feng shui. Yep. On March 4th, we go into the rabbit month, and I'll be talking more about that next week, but we go into the rabbit month. Lots up for grabs under the rabbit month, because rabbit is opposite the year sign of rooster. So for those of you who either are a rabbit, or one of your 4 pillars is rabbit, or one of your luck pillars, particularly the one you're in, is rabbit, you can expect some pretty hefty adjustments under the sign of in the sign of rabbit in March. Okay. All right, let me poke around here and see what else I want to share. I'm going to go a little galactic on you right now. Take you right into the galactic moon of integrity, because that's where we are. We went into that 8th month of the galactic calendar. And you can see I use a lot of resources, and I actually am very faithful to them all. I want to learn from every one of them. They have wisdom that I want to have access to. And if I have access to it, you bet your boots you will. So, in the 8th month of this galactic moon of integrity, it's all about harmonizing, living from a point of harmony. How have you all been doing, living in harmony since February 7th? Because we'd be under the sign, at that point, we'd be under the sign, as we've just left, under the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is a rebel. It's resistant. It's a fixed energy. It's a push against energy. And you push against something, you resist something, you're out of harmony. Oh, I read a wonderful, where did I put that? Wonderful quote today. It was a Zen quote. Let me find it for you. Hold a second here. Yeah, I guess here's what the Zen scripture teaches. A mind that sees good and evil is a diseased mind. End quote. Like, ouch. Holy smokes. And the reason they would say something like that is they walk the middle path of harmony, of wholeness, of integrity, that everything is in perfect order. And there's really, other than seeing the shining one within yourself, there's really not much else to do. Everything else takes care of that. It takes care of itself. It becomes the I am. And the more you practice that, you will find, yes, you go about your life very, very nicely, but you're operating from a place of wholeness. You're operating from a place of clarity. You're operating from a place of liberation. And all the chains that you feel have been binding you, whether it be society or education or disease, it all begins to drop away. You do have to practice it, though. So the object of this past month was create no conflict. And that's a big ouch for a lot of people, too. They seem to thrive on conflict. I don't know. I think whatever galaxy I'm from, we don't do conflict. So I have to be the poster child to remind you, don't be doing conflict. And this month was also about living from and in integrity. And integrity, of course, is wholeness. The real meaning of it, the galactic meaning. It's wholeness and it's undividedness. Don't be divided. You can't serve two beings. There's only one. So it's been a very interesting month, and we've actually had we had a portal, we had a big galactic portal yesterday which I certainly see. This is the advantage of knowing this stuff. I took advantage of it and opened a big new door to something new in my life. So as I read this stuff, trust me, if it says, no, energy is shut down, there's no way that I would be making a move to start something new. And actually, today, and it's kind of humorous, the energy is a bit closed down. My buddy Larry Sang, that great feng shui master that I've studied with, he terms this day a don't do day. And someone wanted me to sign a very important piece of paper this morning, and the person doesn't know me. And I simply told the truth. I said, I'm so sorry. I can't possibly sign today. The energy wouldn't sustain itself, and I want this to sustain itself, so I'll begin tomorrow. Know what he said? Oh, I get it. That works for me. I'll see you tomorrow. So really, the truth sets you free. It's such a liberating thing, a happy thing. So we have this galactic, today, incidentally, it's called a red cosmic moon. Now, when I read something like that, I want to know, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? What does that mean? So I would investigate it a little bit more. Well, here's what now remember, we're in a month, so it's kind of like your astrological chart. You're this, but you've got this aspect today, and you've got this cooking, and so you're a whole universe, and that's the problem with you. You're huge, and it's a good huge in the best sense. So this is a red moon day, as they call it. So you know what you were supposed to be doing today? Purification. You were supposed to be eating lightly, maybe doing a little, sweat it out, do some exercise, a little purification, lots of water. It has to do with the flow. Look at what you are resisting, because when you're in resistance, you're not flowing. And there's a little statement here that says, you cannot step twice into the same river, for fresh waters are ever flowing in. And that's the truth. Waters are always changing in your life, even though you might be thinking, same old, same old. If you're really present, it's all fresh, it's all shining, it's all brand new every moment. And you're recreating it every moment. So it goes on to say here, the symbol for the red moon appears like a beacon, a portal, look at that, another portal, inviting you into self-remembrance of who you are in your wholeness, in your purity. Red moon is a messenger of the ever-present opportunity to renew your being, to rejuvenate, to clean yourself, that you may be free of toxins, falsehoods, distortions, and disserving energies. Look at that, disserving energies. And to refine yourself as a clear vessel. As you're a clear vessel, you're going to restore your health. You're going to restore your health and your well-being. That's the real name of the game of life. It's not what you're being programmed to believe. If you turn the TV on, you're being programmed to believe everything but this. Goes on to say, perhaps the strongest forces of purification are gratitude and forgiveness, acknowledging the totality of your human experience as a divine gift, and remembering you are ever learning, innocent students of life. Now, the word forgiveness is an interesting word, because most people kind of fluff out their feathers thinking, oh, I forgave my ex so-and-so, or I forgave my parent. The only one you ever have to forgive is yourself for thinking you had to forgive someone. There's nobody out there. And forgiveness is backward on this planet. It's give up your old thinking for, give for something new. The power of the universal water invites you to call upon your adaptability your resilience and your ability to change states.